Rahim. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Dr. Aftab Ahmed, with the program Innovative Pakistan with Dr. Aftab. So, today we have a very renowned scientist with us, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz. He was a professor, he was Vice Chancellor of University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences in Lahore, and a lot of experience in area of higher education. So we are really delighted to have him here today with us in the studio. Thank you so much, Raksa, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So we start the program with some basic questions, and then we will advance to our main topic, which is higher education and innovation in Pakistan. Especially, we'll talk in perspective of Pakistani universities. So we'll start with some basic information from Dr. Saab. Initially, we would like to know about his own educational journey. So would you please share that
Sure.
from where you got your education?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I am thankful to you, Aftab and Tariq Saab, for inviting me here on the National Hookup. And my journey started 1945. I was born in a village, and my primary education that was totally in the village.
Oh, nice.
And after primary education, I had to travel to Gujarat city.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Gujarat city for matriculation. So I did my matriculation from Gujarat, and from there I traveled to Lahore for education, graduation.
Right.
And I got the possibility of admission in College of Veterinary Science at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That time college was associated with University of Punjab.
Right.
So we got the degree of Bachelor Veterinary Science and Bachelor Animal Husbandry from the University of the Punjab.
Right.
That was 1966.
Mm-hmm.
Then I traveled to Faisalabad and got admission in Master of Philosophy program in the Department of Physiology and Pharmacology.
Right.
In 2 years over there, that was also very interesting journey because I innovated certain imported equipment,
Right.
which if we had imported, then that would have costed in several thousand rupees. But I just made it in such a way that I went to city of Faisalabad, collected the things, and came back and put them in place in the laboratory.
Nice.
And that costed us 28 rupees and 50 paisas.
Wow. So that's really interesting.
And my professor, Dr. Manzoor Qureshi, who was the first vice chancellor of the University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, he gave me from his pocket that money.
Nice.
And when the instrument that was the heart peripheral apparatus, isolated heart that was working outside the body, and when we run that, then it was a very exciting time for all the people over there. So chairman of the department ran to the dean, invited him to see the innovation and just how fast heart was working on that instrument.
Wow.
So at that time, they recommended my name for the presidential award. That is at 1967. I did not get, but it was not for the sake of award, but it was for the sake of coming up with something good. So I got first position in my MPhil program.
Right.
And I just started work on the indigenous medicinal plants. Uk, which is a very common plant, just growing abundantly in different areas of Pakistan. So I worked on that to see its effect on the heart as well as its toxicology. So
Nice.
that was interesting to see all that. And then I got the position of lecturer in the Department of Physiology and Pharmacology after working for 1.5 years as a veterinary doctor outside in the field. I
Nice.
first worked in Sibbi, Balochistan. It was at that time one unit, and from Sibbi, after a year or so, after spending summer in Sibbi, I was transferred to Quetta in winter. So that was interesting that both the season, Sibbi in summer and Quetta in winter, that I had the experience of. After that, I got the possibility of that teaching assignment in Faisalabad. So then there was no more no this one unit. So I shifted to University of Faisalabad,
Right.
Agriculture Faisalabad. There I started my journey as a teacher, and that was 1970.
Okay.
In 1973, I was trying to get some scholarship or possibility by which I could enhance my education to PhD. But unfortunately, I was not getting any possibility.
Right.
My two brothers, they were working in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
They asked me to come over there and find the possibility.
Right.
So I went there. You will, Aftab, be surprised to know that when I went to see the Vice Chancellor of the Royal Veterinary and Agriculture University in Copenhagen, Denmark, he invited me to be there at 1. So when I knocked at the door, he was waiting for me, came in, and then he took off my overcoat and helped me to take it out and put it in the almirah, then asked me to sit down. He listened me my request about the PhD program. He said, I cannot do anything, but I will introduce you to the professor
Right.
of that department. So then he got up, he took out that overcoat and helped me to wear it, came outside and guided me the way to that department,
Right.
institute. So why I'm saying that, that is the time when I got such an educational that when I became vice chancellor, I tried to practice all that.
Nice. Interesting.
Then I came back after my PhD in 1976, and in 1976, yeah, I should also tell that I made certain innovative programs at the Institute of Pharmacology and Toxicology in Copenhagen. First time they started experimental pharmacology because of me in that department.
Interesting. So you joined the PhD there in that
Yes,
department.
that's
Okay.
right. And then they also, we started, myself and my friend, who is no more alive now, Ool Alalapur. Dr. Ool and me, we started the area of pharmacokinetic in that institute, which was not earlier being done. So that was a new addition. When I came back to Pakistan, I started the same program in postgraduate classes. Of course, some addition in the undergraduate classes about that information. Now, when I started that program in Faisalabad University, from all over Pakistan, right from Karachi to Peshawar, the university teachers in pharmacy, most of them came to me for getting training in that area.
Interesting.
And I'm, very proud to say that in Pakistan, introduction of bioequivalence and bioavailability study, that's me who was the pioneer.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's really good to know that you had done pioneer work in bioequivalence. Is still, like, I think in Pakistan is quite a new area still. There are only very few bioequivalence centers working right now in our
That's
country.
true.
So
That made it possible to conduct the studies of pharmaceutical industry in on their different products to ensure the quality of those products.
Okay.
And I had the possibility of working on several of those products and guiding the industry to improve their products.
Interesting. So you have just mentioned that you started like your career initially, like you were serving in CP and also in Quetta, and then you joined the university as lecturer in University of Agriculture, Faisalabad, and then you went to Copenhagen, where you have started your PhD and you completed there. And then what about your professional life? So when you started your like uh, it was assistant professorship or some other position in the university?
I started as a lecturer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, professional life. Initially, it was a veterinary doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and at that time in the hospital, a case I will definitely like to mention. A female horse came to the clinic, and she has some injury on her belly, and this intestine was coming out of that.
Right.
The
So
people
it
who
was a
were
deep wound.
that was deep wound.
Mm-hmm.
So the colleague, the veterinarian who were there, I made a team, some on anesthesia, some to help me, and so on, and we repaired that injury.
Right.
And by grace of Allah, that was absolutely normal, which I feel very proud to work in a field where there was no much facility,
Right.
and we were able to repair that. Then in the university, yeah, that was a place where one could have contributed a lot, and I did that. I started from nowhere. I started my research in the area I have mentioned. I requested a chairman of the department of anatomy, who was known to me, to bring to get for me some glassware, some chemicals, and he was very nice to support me with those.
Right.
So we started our studies with those, and then the people from, as I mentioned, the students from different universities, they came for the training and got their master's thesis. Some made very good publications, some got such a background, and I'm very happy to say that most of my students, they were so well placed in their career that still they, whenever I meet, they pay me a lot of respect. So in fact, professional career which continued until I was promoted lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor, professor. But during all these journeys, I never, I was never after the post. By the grace of Allah, whenever there was a possibility, I got the opportunity.
Great.
And in this way, I just got to the merit professor, right? No, it's meritorious professor.
Okay. Excellent.
That was the highest, career in academics.
Okay, great. So I know you since I think back in 2008. So I know I was a student in Punjab University at that time. I was doing PhD there, and I was very fascinated about the new advancements in science and technology. I was also the president of Sci Forum at that time. So that was the first internet-based platform on life sciences, because internet was new at that time, and we started that and we tried to share the information with the researchers about the new discoveries in life sciences and so on.
Yes.
And then I got the news that there is Punjab government at that time is going to start a biotechnology park, and I was very fascinated. So I got the news and I also registered for it, and I joined the ceremony that happened in your university, and at that time you was the vice chancellor. So for the first time, I got to know about yourself in that ceremony, and later on, we have a journey together. So there was a meeting in Tunisia.
Yeah.
So we went together in that meeting, and we had further interaction with each other, and
Yes.
that was really very fascinating. So you joined, when you joined as a vice chancellor in veterinary university, and how was your experience, and what initiative you took, being the vice chancellor of UVAS?
I got retired as a professor,
Mhm.
meritorious professor in 2005.
Right.
Then I started bioclinical studies on my own
Mhm.
to serve the industry. And I was getting a lot of possibilities of those success. In 2007, I got the possibility of appointment as vice chancellor.
Mhm.
I must mention that I received a telephone call from the then governor, General Khalid Makbul. Uh, I was informed by his ladies that you are invited by the governor.
Right.
So I went to see him, and he was a very good person. He just welcomed me, got up, came out of the chair, and then made me sit in the corner on the sofas. And he did say that Dr. Nawaz, Government of Punjab, has appointed you as the Vice Chancellor of University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Lahore, on merit, specially mentioned on merit.
Okay.
So we sat there, and whatever idea he had in his mind, he shared with me. And I was planning to, as a Vice Chancellor, I shared with him. So we had a meeting almost half an hour.
Right.
Then he asked me to go to the university on Monday so that the Vice Chancellor already there can wrap up. So I went on Monday and joined that in February 2007.
Right.
That was very interesting journey. You know, the first day when I went to mosque for prayers in the morning, when I came out, several, these guards, they were standing on the rail line. I asked, what's wrong with you? They told me that we did not get salary for 3 months.
Oh.
So I told them that you'll get salary today, inshallah. I went to office, called my registrar, and I told him that they should get salary today.
Okay.
And they got salary in that day.
Okay.
Then, when this was going on, I just had a look around, because that was a college at that time when I studied over there, stayed there for almost 5 years. But now that was a place for me to take care of that college as a university.
Right.
After joining, when I see the dilapidated condition of the old building, first of all, I renovated that.
Okay.
And by renovation, that became one of the beautiful, building of the past. Then I just gathered the information about the land assets of the university. And I came to know that the university got 22 acres of land in somewhere 1952 or something like that for the college, but that was never taken over. So I asked my director to start a case, because at that time the university was not there. Department of Animal Husbandry gave that gift of 20 acres was not there. No, there was University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences. No, all that land, 275 acres, it belonged to the department that time. No, that belongs to university.
Okay.
I had the case with different courts. Ultimately, High Court decided in the university favor.
Right.
And then we tried to take over the possession of that land. And I had a very big project for that land, 275 acres in Barki Road, Lahore. That was excellent site for activities which I had in mind. In order to initiate that, before that, I thought that I should invite Chief Minister of Punjab to the university to give him a confidence that they are planning.
Okay.
So you joined that meeting, and I was giving a speech when the man came to know me that Prime Minister has got only 15 minutes to be here in the university. I just finished my speech and then asked the Chief Minister to come downstairs to make an opening ceremony of the biotechnology park, first of its kind in Pakistan. And because technology park or IT parks, they have many But this was biotechnology park, was the only first program in the country.
Right.
And I had all my, connections with the pharmaceutical industry to start their journey from there, and the university, in which areas university can support them, because
Right.
we had a very strong department of microbiology and biology, where we could make vaccine and all that. So there was a lot of possibility of making different products. So when I took went with the chief minister for the opening ceremony, I showed him the land. He said, "Yes, I know that." So I was just little thinking that okay. Then after cutting the uh, that
Ribbon. So.
ribbon, of that ceremony, then he went to see the exhibition of the university. First of all, I took him to the dog section where we were breeding and training the dogs.
Right.
Dogs were being trained for sniffing, for following the thieves, and whatever was possible, they were being trained for that. Guard dogs and all that. So we gave him practical demonstration in which some narcotics were stolen, were put in a vehicle, and the dog found out those.
Right.
Similarly, the man was trying to be a thief over there, and the dog saw that and attacked him. And after that, I took him to the snake venom room, where we had variety of snakes.
Right.
The big idea was that this country is importing snake venom. The one which is being made in National Institute of Health has only very small quantity, cannot meet the needs of the nation.
Right.
So we should start at the commercial level so that the national needs are taken care of. He, he was reluctant to catch a snake in that room. Then we came to the actual exhibition of the biotechnology things.
Right.
Earlier, he said that he will. Man told me that he will be staying in the university for 15 minutes. But when he started looking at the exhibition, he spent 1.5 hours in the university, and then invited all those who were there to in a photograph where he shared that photograph with all the people who were there.
Nice.
After a few days, he sent a message through bureaucrat that Dr. Nawaz, the site which we have shown to the chief minister, he is asked to give a briefing at the site.
Right.
I said, no problem. We are making the wall around that after a difficult possession task. Then wall was being made around. We invited him there, and I gave him a briefing on the site.
Right.
After a few days, I received a message that Dr. Nawaz, this land is required by the government. They have got some special project for this one, and that is a necessary project, and you can get any, quantity of land on this Shehubra road.
Right.
Whatsoever number of acres you want, you will get. I told them that give me land of Buffalo Research Institute and some 2-3 places over there. So, and then give a university 500 million of interest money. What's that called? Money which is placed as a saving in the bank.
Endowment.
Endowment fund, yeah, sorry. No, that endowment fund ultimately, when the meetings went on, our discussion went on, I told them I had a very big plan for this place. Here we want to manufacture pharmaceutical of preventive pharmaceutical, diagnostic pharmaceutical, and treatment for treatment therapeutic pharmaceuticals, all of biological nature.
Right.
And then this place was very near to the border, and then this American delegate came to see our possibilities, what we can do. We
Right.
knew what was going on,
Mhm.
but we kept the things as we wanted.
Mhm.
So, in spite of all that, mentioning that this place will be used for countries import, the reduction of imports and improving exports in millions of rupees, not small amounts, but in millions. But ultimately got land after several meetings, and in lieu of that, they gave us 2 million of this endowment fund,
Mhm.
and then some places. So I immediately tried to get those places, and then for the next time they did not make me vice chancellor, because when I was talking about the land, he said vice chancellor is trying to give us just as a commercial thing, that is
Mhm.
this way. So after that, the next vice chancellor came. I started in January 2007, and 2011 December,
Right.
my journey as a vice chancellor terminated.
Mhm.
That was one part of the thing which I mentioned about the as a vice chancellor.
Mhm.
The other the changes which I made, when I joined that university, there was only one degree program,
Right.
and only 650 students, and
Mhm.
that degree was on the veterinary sciences,
Okay.
veterinary medicine.
Mhm.
No university survives on one program.
Right.
So I called my senior faculty, discussed with them, and so we decided that we will initiate as many programs as possible at undergraduate level as well as postgraduate level.
Okay.
All those programs, for example, we started pharmacy,
Mhm.
and that was the best pharmacy school in the country at that time.
Nice.
And likewise, our microbiology department, biotechnology department,
Mhm.
biochemistry department, then zoology department, wildlife department, all these they were providing best possible education, and the students, they were traveling from Lahore to Pattoki, wherever new campus was there,
Mhm.
which also has a background story. Sometime I might
So it
tell
was
you.
your tenure that was that the start of the Patoki campus. So, or it was like before your position.
Before me, they got 825 acres of land on the Pattoki Road,
Mhm.
and that land was in a jungle.
Yes, I have visited that campus, so I
Okay.
have like some idea
Okay,
that how
then
was it.
um, uh, the founder vice chancellor, Dr. Manzoor Qureshi, he did so hard work, and the people did so hard work. When I took over the university,
Mhm.
that was as a green fields,
Right.
and nothing like jungle and all that.
Mhm.
So they had taken that land, and I added almost 2, 3, 4 more pieces of land.
Okay.
So ultimately, when I left, we had almost 1,300 or 1,400 acres of land.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. And all the programs which were initiated over there, they became very popular program, and the students and boys and girls, they were traveling from Lahore to Pattoki and from the surrounding area to
Mhm.
join those programs. Yeah, if I'm talking of each program, that's going to take a long time.
Yes,
But
definitely.
what I can shortly say that when I left the university, there were more than 22 programs, undergraduate and postgraduate, and the student strength at that time was 3,500.
Interesting.
During my tenure, I tried that I should also train some youngsters to take over my place.
Mhm.
And interestingly, when tested different individuals. Dr. Talal Tansir Pasha, he was a brilliant boy. So I involved him in every activity, every program. And sometimes I was telephoning at home, Dr. Pasha, why don't we have this our commercial program which was started, business, why don't we call it as a life sciences business management program, which would be a unique program in the country.
Right.
And will involve all the life sciences also. So in this way, he take good, he was good at administration and all that. And after me, he followed as the vice chancellor. And I'm happy that his contributions were also on the. He just advanced all those things which I had started.
Great.
And added many more things. So he did quite a lot during his 2 tenure also.
Yes, I also remember. So I was working in US, and then I came to Pakistan with the passion that we should start something, just like you started the biotechnology park, but it was not materialized as you was thinking. So I was like in US, and I was thinking that we should have something, a program on entrepreneurship. So I met Dr. Talal Nasir Pasha in the university, and I introduced him that this is how the American universities are working. So we should start this kind of program here. So he gave a lot of time to me during that meeting, and then he introduced me to the ORIC office and the business school. So I had a meeting with them, and then we shared the idea that how we can start these kind of programs. I'm really happy that after we had the discussion in HEC and with the different universities, and now many universities have started this kind of courses. Like they have a whole semester now in bioentrepreneurship. So that's so important thing is we should keep up the efforts. We should push the things. So, and I'm sure if that biotech park would have started back in 2008, in Pakistan we import almost more than 90% of our biological products. Like if we talk about the restriction enzyme, polymerases, if we talk about all kind of proteins, all kind of other stuff, it's almost all kind of case vaccines and biological products. So almost everything we import. So if we have started back then, right now we would be able not only to produce the things for Pakistan, but we would be exporting to so many other countries. So that's really true. So I think that you should keep pushing the things, and we should start this kind of may not be if the government support is still not there because they are also facing a lot of challenges. But I think with now the new initiatives of engaging the private sector, so I think, and still I remember that you are making those kind of efforts that we should start kind of biotech park and many. So I know of many of your other initiatives, so definitely we'll talk those. But right now I think time is also short, so we would like to know, because you have a huge experience of being spend so much time in the universities and as a professor and then as a vice chancellor. So what do you think about the Pakistani university? So you not only having the experience of your own university, but you have a lot of colleagues working in other universities. You have visited those universities, worked with those universities. So what do you think? What are the challenges here in Pakistan in area of higher education? Why our universities are so behind as compared to other even regional universities if we compare? And in the world ranking, still we are after 300 universities. So what initiative we should take that we, it's everybody know it that more than 50% innovation in the world is happening in the university. So if we have to take Pakistan to the next level, we have to strengthen our universities. Being spent so much time in the universities, what do you think? What are the key challenges in Pakistan and how we can overcome those?
After my tenure as vice chancellor, I got free on 15 December 2011.
Right.
And then Virtual University of Pakistan, they asked me that I should come up there as advisor.
Right.
I asked them to joining in February. I joined in February. So I worked there as advisor for 5 years in the Virtual University of Pakistan as well.
That's interesting.
When I joined that university, I told them this university can become one of the international university with its programs, and we can engage, we can enroll students from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatsoever I could do over there, I did that because it was not, I was not in the as administrator over there, but I was as an advisor.
Right.
Uh, that university is still contributing a lot in the country because that has its stamp all over the country, right from north to south. They are making a lot of contribution.
Right.
Now, when we talk of the challenges in the higher education, there are several challenges which we need to address.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you want to have a good student, you need to have a good teacher.
Right.
And if you want to have a good teacher, you want to have such training programs for the teachers which could provide the required need of teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I have talked to different universities that they should start teachers certification program
Mm-hmm.
for primary, secondary, and higher education, and that certification should be accredited by the international bodies, that local bodies, and that should have all the stuff which is being done at the moment at the international level. Forgetting all what we had in before, our curriculum and our teaching methods and all that, but we should now adopt all the new technologies, new methods, new approach by the teachers who are trained in all those areas.
Right.
So to me, the first biggest challenge is to start teacher certification programs by any university in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I have given, certain type of outlines that how they can start and what areas are important, and I have told them, okay, I can tell you how you can go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The university at the time when I talked to them, they are agreeing that okay, we'll start it.
Mm-hmm.
But after my efforts of almost 1.5 years, I have not yet been able to. But some university, they are definitely in the mood, because starting this program not only will provide our best teachers
Mm-hmm.
in the country, but also the university which is initiating that program, that will be sort of a commercial program, and that university can make a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
from that program. If I just give a little bit training to program of the teachers, that's all online.
Mm-hmm.
Their certification is online. Their,
Right.
exams, their assessment, that's all online.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give a USB with all the courses to the teachers and ask them, they should get through all this stuff, they should get trained on this stuff, wherever they need to have training, they should go there and get areas of training from there, and ultimately when they're ready, they should ask the certification officer in university that okay, we are ready for your assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So they should get assessment from the university done, and in this way, those who qualify, they should become the teachers.
Right.
If you are providing a good teacher at the primary level, total scenario will change.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, okay, those teachers are not will not be welcome very much. But when the schools they get good teachers and that good training program and all that, so they will definitely other schools will also follow. Ultimately, government of the country will also follow all those programs, so that we have a fully trained, you know, teachers in all the country.
Okay.
Yeah, that's number one.
Okay. So actually, for me, like if I think about the professors in the university, there are a few professors who are really good in their teaching style, and others they are good in their research work, so they are really good. But the challenge here in both of the cases is like most of our researchers and teachers who are good in communication and who are good in research, they move out of country. So it's like Pakistan is facing a lot of brain drain. So how we can have like the best people in our university. Leadership is very important. Best teacher, as you have mentioned, I totally agree with you that the teachers are very important if we have to take our universities to the next level. The good teacher, they are always resourceful. They can develop easy collaborations. If they are good, then definitely they can polish, nurture the students in a very good way. The challenge is in Pakistan, what I think, and I would like to ask from you, that how we can retain those people who are really good and not let them that they should serve in like in Europe or US.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a very big challenge for the country to retain our brains.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the retention of these people, they should be offered a satisfactory package for their appointment.
Mm-hmm.
All of the teachers, they are not after money.
Right.
All of them, they want respect.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, they want to be placed at a suitable place on merit.
Right.
And when they are placed on merit and they are placed well, for example, if they qualify the lecturer, they become lecturers.
Mm-hmm.
And then when, a competent person sits at your place, at a seat, whatsoever you have said, that making international connections, researches and researches in teaching and in innovation and entrepreneurship, they are coming all with these, there are many of them, they have got outstanding ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I interact with my youngsters, young people working in the university, I told them where I could not develop the things, now it is a challenge for them. They should work in these areas to develop the things.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
so the first, thing is that we should provide them a possibility for a respectful life
Mm-hmm.
and respectful earning and respectful dealing. When I say dealing, if you have a vice chancellor who is not good in dealing, who is not, respecting the teachers, then people would not like to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because leader is a person who leads the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And that leader has to be one of the best leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what we need is to have meritly selected vice chancellor on merit.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the situation which is going on in the country, that's not really very plausible. We must try to do all whatsoever we can do to bring in the merit, especially in the educational institution,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the services, especially in the teaching institutions.
Right.
Yeah, so that can definitely make a change.
Mm-hmm.
So to retain the teachers, respect them, provide them the working environment,
Right.
give them due importance,
Mm-hmm.
and try to provide them the working facility as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the good teachers, they can create their own facilities.
Definitely. So another thing I would like to know is like in Pakistan, mostly we think of and mostly it's in our discussion that the research, just like you have done like quite innovation in the university time. I was really happy to know that you have done a lot of innovation. So what we think is that most of the time the research we do in the universities, they stay in the university. That is not being translated in the society. Like for example, if somebody is working on bioremediation, that's one example, and they have isolated some bacteria or fungi which is good in bioremediation. That stays in the university. The strain stays in the universities. We don't apply those. If we have developed a new variety of some crop, whatever is the crop, that mostly like you complete your thesis and that stays in your thesis and that's not being translated into the society. So we can overcome the problem. So how we can, like, the role of the universities they should be ahead of the society, and normally we say that they should be at least 10 years ahead of the society. For example, if the solar panels are coming in the society, they should be installed 10 years ahead in the universities. I have seen like when I was traveling to different European universities, I haven't seen the electric vehicle charging station in the city, but I have seen those in the universities much ahead of the time. So this is how the universities are working. the greenhouses to grow the crops. For example, when I visited some of the universities in Netherlands, they have like kind of a space, incubation kind of space for the agriculture. They have those spaces in the universities and then they translate into the field. And now we see the agriculture output of Netherlands is number 2 in the world, and they are exporting like worth more than 111 billion US dollars. Yeah, and that's like 1/5 of the Punjab. So this is how the universities are working in the world. But in Pakistan, we haven't seen that kind of like thing. Mostly the research stays in the theses or in research articles and not being translated. So how we can translate our research?
You know, research translation from lab to the field,
Mm-hmm.
it is one of the biggest challenge for us.
Mm-hmm.
The major reason being that our researches have not been planned properly
Mm-hmm.
and not been planned with the consultation with the industry.
Right.
So if we develop that link between university, between the academia and industry and the government, I think that is going to give us the real results.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been discussed many times that how we can do it.
Right.
Now the industry will cooperate or collaborate only when a researcher has got something for them to offer.
Right.
Not talking of person, but saying, telling that when I told the industry that they can come up for biochemical studies, bioavailability studies,
Mm-hmm.
we are I never got any grant from the government,
Right.
not from the university,
Mm-hmm.
to run my researches.
Right.
And the publication made by my student and myself,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good number of the publications made.
Mm-hmm.
So the support provided by the industry in a transparent way, that's very important.
True.
If I'm getting money from them and using for your own purpose, nobody is going to cooperate with me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm getting money, I used to tell, oh, I need a toilet in this room, they will come and make the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I would not get money from them. I would tell them, please do this, and they will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me these chemicals, they will give me the chemicals.
Right.
And I have never had any difficulty in financing my researches because I had a direct interaction with the industry, pharmaceutical industry.
Yes, that's very important because, like in almost all the developed countries, it's mainly the contribution that is coming from the like the industry. Almost half of the contribution is coming from the industry, and in Pakistan, we often talk that we don't have a lot of research money from the government side. I think we should put more efforts in this, so we can just like it's your example, and you just mentioned that you got most of your research money is from the industry. So definitely, you like can also educate the other researchers that they can. This is how we can, just like you have mentioned, you have given some of the examples. So this is how we can convince the industry that they should spend more money, and this is how I think. And you are exactly right that we can't progress much without like the support from the industry, and the things can also be translated very easily if there is if researchers have made something which is good for the industrial part, so they can give that service or that product to the industry, and they can use it for the product they are going to make or they want to get. So time is very short. We wanted to discuss a lot of more things. So at the end, we would like to have your message that what you would like to say to the young generation of Pakistan, and because having a lot of experience in research in universities, I would like maybe sometime we will talk about your future initiative like DigiCake is an excellent initiative, but time is very short. We have to close by 2. So just at this time, what is your message for our young generation?
You know, our young generation, they are real asset for the country.
Mm-hmm.
And as I know of them, many of them really talented youngsters.
Right.
Now, what they should do is that they should work hard in the life and set their goals, high goals in the life, not short goals, but high goals.
Mm-hmm.
They should think positive in the life, they should have higher goals in the life,
Mm-hmm.
and they should work as hard as possible in the life. Inshallah, they will progress like anybody who progresses in the country.
So you have a lot of hope from our younger
Yes, sure,
generation.
sure, sure.
So with this,
They are really asset for our country.
so with this, thank you so much, Professor Dr. Muhammad Nawaz, for sparing time for us today. And it was really excellent discussion, starting from his own educational journey. That was very inspiring because some of the innovation he has made during his educational journey, his services at different parts of the country at different time intervals, and then his PhD from Europe, and then coming back to Pakistan and serving as a professor. The good thing he told that he has like lot of research ground from the industrial side, so that's really the sense being researcher we can like have because this is how we get progress very much. And then he served as a vice chancellor, and that was also quite a success story because he just mentioned that before his vice chancellor there was just one degree program, and when he completed the tenure there were more than 20 such programs, and there were over 3,000 researchers who were involved in those programs. So that was another success story. Another important discussion we had is the challenges in higher education in Pakistan and how we can retain the best brain in our country. And at the end, the same discussion we have. I started during my PhD time, even I was involved in those discussions that how we can promote academia industry linkages, and he has a vast experience in that. So thank you so much for sharing very insightful things, and definitely we'll continue. We'll invite him once again because there are so many other things we would like to discuss.
Sure.
He is 80 but still very young for his activities he is doing. So we wish him good health, and please keep contributing for the betterment of Pakistan.
Thank you
again.
so much. Very much. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
सर एक